Okay, so let's keep going. Number 7, we have circle K with a center at -2, 6, and the point 3, -6 lies on the circle. What's the length of the radius? So, a red flag, length. I know the formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Again, that formula is on my formula sheet, so I want to make sure that I remember how to use it. Alright, so I'm going to have to graph these points. So I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of graph paper, draw my x and y axis. Alright, so let me look at those points again. I'm graphing -2, 6, and 3, -6. -2, 6, and 3, -6. Alright, so no, one of them was my center. So which one was my center? Was -2, 6. So there's the middle of the circle. Alright, so this is the point that lies on the circle. So this is my radius. It's a pretty long radius. Okay, so first things first, I'd like to connect it. Since I am finding distance, I'm going to be making the right triangle. Alright, so let me change the color. Alright, drawing my right triangle so I can count the distances of my two legs. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so we got a 12. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so 12 and 5. And so my formula again is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 5 squared plus 12 squared. Now it doesn't matter, you could have put 12 squared plus 5 squared. It would have been the same exact answer. Alright, and then I put equals x squared there, and then I go to my calculator. So y equals y1, I'm put the left side, I got 5 squared plus 12 squared. y2 is x squared, my problem from last time is still in there. So all I got to do now is second trace 5, wait for it to load, and then enter, over, enter, enter. And my answer is 13. It's a nice pretty number. And I'm writing my answer in the box, so I'm just going to write 13. Just for good practice, my diameter would be twice my radius. So twice my radius, so 2 times 13 is 26. So my diameter would be 26. That was just a little extra practice there. Alright, moving on to all this graph paper we've got going on. We're moving on to number 8. Which of the following pairs of points define a line perpendicular to the line passing through the points 2, 1, -3, 3? So this one we are graphing, so let's just go ahead and get a new sheet of graph paper. Alright, it's a fairly simple question. The problem is that we're going to end up graphing several lines. You know, maybe the first answer choice is the right answer and we get lucky, but sometimes we do have to graph several lines to figure this out. So I'm going to first graph my original line. So 2, 1, let me make that larger. So 2, 1, and -3, 3 is my original line. So let me go ahead and graph that. 2, 1, -3. Forgot the other one. -3, 3, okay. Alright, so here's the first line, the original line, and I'm going to make it purple so that we can remember which one's the original. So, oh, sorry. I'm actually going to make that a little thinner so we can see the points. Yeah, there we go. Now I can see the points. So my slope of that line would be -2 over 5. So I'm going to write that in purple, -2 over 5. Alright, and I think it said parallel, no, it said perpendicular. Alright, so perpendicular, we're going to have to remember what to do to the fraction. Alright, so we're going to have to flip the fraction and then also switch the sign. So we're going to have a 5 over 2. We're looking for a line with a slope of positive 5 over 2 in our answer choices. Okay, so I'm going to circle that so we can remember. Now, going back, I'm going to go ahead and start graphing these lines. And you don't always have to start with answer choice A. I don't know. Let's see if answer choice C, we'll get lucky and maybe that's our answer. So we're going to graph those 2 points, 2, -5, and -3, -3. Alright, so right off the bat, just looking at this, it does not look like it's going to be perpendicular, because perpendicular lines are supposed to cross at 90 degrees. So this, and that was not very good. Let's try that again. Whoop. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so these lines are apparently parallel, so double check, count the slope. You have a -2 over 5, which matches to the parallel slope. That's not my answer, so I didn't get lucky with the first choice, but let's try D. -5, 3, and 1, 5. -5, 3, and 1, 5. So again, right off the bat, this does not look like it's perpendicular, because those two lines, the original purple line, and then my red line, do not cross at 90. So I'm not even going to worry about counting the slope. Just going to go back and cross out D. Now it's between A and B, so let's try B. Hopefully we get lucky. 1, -2, and -1, -7. Now, this one does look like it might end up being perpendicular. Because look how the orange line, answer choice B, crosses with the original line, the purple line. It looks like if you took a piece of paper and just stuck the piece of paper right down here, the corners would line up, and that's what your 90 degrees looks like. But just to double check, I'm going to see if it matches the slope of 5 over 2. So, counting from point to point, my rise does look like it's 5, and my run is 2, which matches to the perpendicular slope, and so that would be my answer. And there we go. Number 9, now we're going to reflections across y equals x. So, again, the first step is to draw the line y equals x. I'm going to show you what I've done in class. I've been doing my line, if I didn't have a ruler, what could I do? Well, you could plot each of these points with your positive slope of 1. Remember, start at your origin and just go up diagonally, hitting all those points right there. And then you can draw a line, and it might look a little bit better than if you didn't have a ruler, and then if you did have a ruler. But I'm going to again use my tool just because I want to make sure that I'm doing this perfectly to show you guys. So there's the line y equals x. That you will definitely have to know for the benchmark. So just memorize what that line looks like. You can always use your calculator. If you forget, look, the calculator, y equals x. So anything in the form of y equals, you can put it in your calculator. So y equals x, I'm going to hit graph, and then it's going to remind me what it looks like. Goes to the origin, positive slope of 1. Okay? So we're reflecting coordinate B. So all I have to do is count the number of units that B lies away from the line y equals x. So in this case it's 3. Alright, now since I've counted down, alright, now I'm going to count either left or right, whichever one makes the most sense. Counting left doesn't make sense because that point would end up here, and my goal was to reflect or flip it over. So then I'm going to count 3 to the right. That makes a lot more sense. Alright, so you can see it, that perfect reflection of point B. So the answer would be 2, -1, which is A. Then number 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14. We're almost done. Alright, so, Number 10, we're doing the midpoint. So let me get a piece of graph paper real quick. All right, I'm going to graph my 2 points. 5, 1, 6, 3. Ooh, make sure I did that right. 5, 1, and 6, 3. This is a little segment. So my rise is 2, my run is 1, so half of 2 is 1, so I'm going to count up 1, and then over a half of 1, so it's going to be right there. So my coordinate would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, 1, 2. All right, 5.5, 2. And there might be a problem not having an answer choice. Okay, so it looks like, oh, nope, see, I read this wrong. It says if O is the midpoint. If O is the midpoint of DG, what are the coordinates of G? So there you go, a prime example of you need to read the question carefully. So which one's my midpoint? Oh, so let me go ahead and, put a red flag right there. That's my midpoint. So 6, 3, here's my middle. So that means my other endpoint is going to be up this way. So I'm going to count up 2 over 1 and then repeat that up 2 over 1, and there's my other endpoint. All right, so I was going crazy there for a minute. But the coordinates would be 7, 5. 7, 5 is right here. Good. All right, moving on. What is the length of diagonal AC? So length, again, you're going to graph your points and then draw your connect a segment, and so forth and so on, and do your Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'm going to skip that one and let you guys do that one on your own, but it's pretty easy. Just follow the steps on the other questions. This one is a midpoint question because it's got the center. Find the center of a circle with the endpoints. So again, I'm going to do this one real quick, draw my graph paper, trying to beat the clock. I've up to 15 minutes I can record at a time, and I'm at almost 13, so I'm going to try to hurry up and finish up here. So center of the diameter, so -2, -3, and 2, 3. Alright, so I'm going to connect them, and then count my rise, my run. So it looks like it's going up 6 over 4. Half of 6 is 3. So I'm going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. And half of 4 is 2. So I'm going to go over 2. And there's the center. It's actually at the origin. There's my 0, 0. So my answer would be 0, 0. Alright. Number 13. Okay, these 2 last questions are going to take but a split second. So lines of symmetry is going to fold something in half perfectly. Alright, and so in geometry we're going to have to go more advanced with it and figure out what equation would define a line of symmetry. But it's pretty easy. If you just look at it, figure out how you'd cut it, and then determine the answer for that equation, you're more likely to, get this answer correct versus, trying to figure out all of them at once. So that's a vertical line, so it's going to be x equals a number. And it looks like it crosses the x-axis at 2, so my answer is D. The last question is finding the center of a circle. That's easy. Remember, you're just switching these numbers, switching the sign of these 2 numbers. Oh. Alright, so +4 becomes a -4, and then -2 becomes a +2, and then D is your right answer. Alright, so that... Oh, sorry, I missed one. There's one more. All right, I'm probably going to run out of time for this one, but you are reflecting over the x and y axis. I'm going to show you one of the points, and then you can finish up the rest. So my x-axis is this line here, so I'm going to count up 4 to touch. So I'm going to count 4 more, And then I'm going to reflect it over the y. I'm just going to count